Morning Shem Stars. Welcome to the class of. Let's discuss about the controlling process. Controlling is defined as the process of monitoring the activities so as to ensure that they are being accomplished as planned and to correct if there are significant deviations. The process of controlling is as follows. First step is establishing the standards of performance. Setting standards means setting a proper benchmark for the performance. The standards which we are setting should be feasible and should be practically achievable. They should be flexible also so that according to the situation we can change them. They should not be rigid. They should be clearly defined, realistic, and they should be laying emphasis on key factors. After setting the standards, it is also important to decide the level of achievement which will be regarded as good or satisfactory. That means a proper benchmark is to be set. Moreover, the employees should be made clear regarding the individual objectives and the group objectives so that we can properly and clearly define them, that what are the things that they have to achieve individually and what sort of targets they need to achieve in groups. Second is measurement of the actual performance. After deciding and defining the objectives to each and every person of the organization, we have to actually measure their performance. This performance is measured against the standards which are already established. Actual performance of individuals, groups, departments, or the whole enterprise is to be measured. Third is comparing the actual performance and the standard performance. We need to check out the deviations. For example, we have set the target of 50 units for any department of production side, and if the employee is coming up with 40 units per day, that means there is negative deviation of 10 units. On the other hand, if any employee is coming out with 60 units each day, that means he is giving us the performance of 10 units, positive deviation of 10 units. So we have to compare the actual and standard performance to check out the deviations. Next is analyzing the deviations. How can we analyze the deviations? We have to see whether the deviations are positive or negative. In certain cases, some deviations are acceptable to a certain range also. For example, if 60 units are set, then we can set a satisfactory limit up to 55 units also. Means minus 5 deviation of 5 units deviation in a negative deviation of 5 units. That is acceptable in case the employee is not feeling well or because of some unavoidable circumstances. Moreover, while comparing the actual performance with standard fixed performance, the manager has to find out the extent of variations and the cause of variations also. How far the deviations are there, are they positive or negative, and what's the reason of those deviations, so that we can work on the reasons of deviation accordingly. Critical point control is there. We have to keep focusing on some key areas, key result areas, and we should be treating the key result areas as critical areas, and urgently we should give them the priority to take corrective actions if we are getting negative deviations in case of key result areas or critical point areas. So next is taking corrective actions. Taking corrective actions means after comparing the actual and standard performance, we have to find out the deviations and then we have to take corrective actions accordingly so that we can overcome the gap between the actual and standard performance. The manager should try to influence the environmental conditions in such a manner that they facilitate the achievement of goals. He should review the instructions with subordinates and give them a better and clear picture to complete instructions in future. There are many uncontrollable factors also which have to be accepted as the facts of situation, and the executives should formulate and revise their plans in light of these changing factors. So that is why we are saying that the standards of performance should be flexible so that certain cases when the situation is uncontrollable, we need to change our standards of performance accordingly. And the last step is feedback. Feedback is the most important process of controlling because it enables the managers to know the impact of our actions. Without it, all the steps performed earlier have been sheer wastage of time, effort, and money. So this is all about the process of control. In our next video, we will study about techniques of managerial control. If you have any doubt, you can drop on Google Class. Take care all of you. Thank you, Shem Stars.